Hello, honorable members of the clan. So, welcome to my YouTube channel where we kind of like talk what is in our mind. And I'm going to be sharing some few things that I discovered this morning that Minister of Police Senzo Mchunu requested for a special leave from Cyril Ramaphosa. And in my head, I'm like, what does a special leave even mean? Because it's either you take a leave, and in most cases, when you take a leave, you still get paid, right? You are entitled to that leave. Instead of being fired and arrested, you are implicated, but you are innocent until proven guilty after you have seen a magistrate, and then investigations take place. And then you go to court, you clear your name. If you are not guilty, if you are guilty, then you have to pay the consequences of your actions when you decided that you are going to break the public policy. That's how it works, especially for us ordinary South African citizens. I mean, the Constitution in Section 9 talks about everyone is equal before the law. It's applied equally to all of us. But it seems like when it comes to the so-called leaders of this country, the Constitution must be applied differently. And I've also noticed how the justice system actually enables that. Instead of saying, whoa, no. You've been accused of a serious crime. If it's corruption, it's a serious crime. It's in our Criminal Procedure Act. Is it 51 or 1977? That one. So now it shouldn't therefore mean just because you are a minister or a premier or president, you should be treated differently from the rest of South Africa when it comes to the application of the law. So now these terminologies of special leave, and that actually shuts the door for investigations. But when you are suspended, it opens the door for a disciplinary hearing. I'm speaking like an ordinary South African citizen who has been part of disciplinary commissions, not me being disciplined. I've been part of them, and an ordinary citizen will go through that process with evidence put on the table if there is evidence. If there's no evidence put on the table, then of course the case is dismissed, or they will not be found guilty, even if evidence is produced, but then the evidence is a little shaky. Yeah, but why they are treated special? Why there should be things like special leave? These are the things, guys, that we need to fix because there are loopholes. There are loopholes for being held accountable. There are loopholes to make things a little bit more easy for Ramaphosa, who would say, well, I have decided to place the Minister of Police on special leave. That does not mean he will not interfere with the investigations. That does not mean while he's sitting at home, he will be pulling the strings, the favors that he's being owed. Versus if he is fired or suspended, especially suspension, because that does open the door for investigations so that at his disciplinary hearing, there is evidence that is put on the table. But on the special leave, nah, that's making South Africans fools. That's playing psychological games with South Africans. That's playing words with South Africans. Like, oh, at least he's no longer the Minister of Police. Then suddenly we have what? Acting. But I don't think it's going to replace him with an acting Minister of Police. I suspect he's going to reshuffle the cabinet. Again, you are reshuffling. You are not taking accountability for the people that are accused of serious crimes, because some of them perjured themselves in Parliament. The Minister of Education, right? There's another minister. Why don't you treat them exactly like how you treated Whitefield? You fired him. Now, let's do the same thing you're doing to Senzo Mchunu. Let's do the same thing you're doing to the Minister of Education and other ministers that have been accused with serious accusations. Can we do the same thing? Because they cannot tell me that the rule book only applies to Whitefield and it doesn't apply to your comrades. It cannot be. That is not equality that is enshrined in our Constitution. These are serious crimes. These are crimes of integrity. And it just goes to show that Senzo Mchunu does not have integrity for actually requesting for a special leave when he's been accused of such serious allegations. Allegations that in other countries, they will just judgment. There's no trial. You will be judged and sent to the noose. But no, here in South Africa, we'll play with words. Special leave. What does special leave even mean? What consequences does special leave come with? I mean, didn't we put a certain high court judge on special leave about 15 years ago? And he's still on special leave to this very day, if I read correctly some years ago. Didn't we? And he's still getting paid. Yeah, the one that hit a wall because he was drunk. Special leave for so many years. And somebody is going to say, give us evidence. Give us evidence. Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court. That judge, what was that judge's name again? I forgot. He was on leave or suspension for years and still collecting taxpayers' money. And he was not reinstated into the bench. No trial or found guilty. I don't know. What do you call this? The information is a little scrambled in my head because I was still a young boy myself. Tomorrow is my birthday and I'm already on the 4th floor. You know, starting to get well into the 4th floor. And you guys are playing with words and you're making fools of us. You want to say, well, I took action. You did not take action when you placed him on special leave. What you should be saying is, I have released the Minister of Police. Those are the words we're expecting. That's first step of accountability. Then the second step of accountability is you, Mr. President, as the Commander-in-Chief, and I believe you're also Commander-in-Chief of the police, to order an arrest. You order an arrest, let him go clear his name if he is innocent of these accusations. And then another thing that I also came across, President considering to suspend Unhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Are you reading the room or you just tone deaf? Are you reading the room? Because as the president of this country, I am sure part of your responsibility is to protect this country's economic activities. We don't want to see what happened in 2021. And I'm not in support of it, 100% not in support of it. But I do not let history repeat itself on your watch again, Mr. President. So those things that you are, no, don't. And the third thing that I was like, no, Commission of Inquiry? No, Mr. President, because in the Commission of Inquiry, y'all are going to put your own direction, how this Commission of Inquiry should go. No. I want to, but they also compromise, and I don't trust them anymore, the judiciary. I don't trust them anymore. I wanted to say, can it at least be the Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court that comes with points of reference for this particular Commission of Inquiry and give a deadline? And that deadline, it cannot be for months and months and months on end. It cannot be like the Zondo Commission. It cannot be like the Mbengane Commission. It cannot be like all the other commissions that last for months and millions of rands to billions sometimes of rands wasted. No. That is why an investigation is required. Because you know what, with investigations, even when the accused is going through trial, they are still investigating in the background. It never ends until they've left no stone unturned. Mr. President, no, don't play games with us. I don't know if you noticed, we are a nation that is not bruised. We are a nation with gaping wounds because of your people. Because of your people, the ANC. So now you cannot be playing these games because you are afraid that this Magdonsela Amanzi ngomsela No, no, no. If you also, you need to go, sir. You need to go, sir. And that is why I feel like an early elections is going to resolve our issue. Because if you step down, President, it's going to be another ANC. And then there'll be more accusations about that particular person because you think people are going to sit back and do nothing. In case you haven't noticed, Mr. President, I know you are very detached from South African reality. South Africans are good investigators. Oh, South African YouTubers and TikTokers and Twitterati good at investigation. Sometimes I always say the headquarters of FBI is actually South Africans. South Africans will dig and expose. So now you are going to be replaced with somebody that South Africans are going to dig and expose. That means we'll always be having your people in your party stepping down because they're being exposed. Because the question is who umsulwa lapayana, who is innocent, who has not committed some kind of a crime or associated with people that are doing crimes. This is, it cannot be. It cannot be, Mr. President. That is why an early elections is something that we need to talk about as the people of South Africa. So here is that article from Sunday Times. The headline is Mchunu asked Ramaphosa to put him on leave. This article comes out today, the 13th of July, 2025. And the authors of this is Thandukolo Jika and the likes. There's several of them that are mentioned there. But yeah, that's the Sunday Times headline. I'm not okay with being placed on leave, special leave, whatever leave it's called. You need to fire this individual so that he is outside of the investigations and he cannot see what is happening. With special leave, I feel like he will still have some ropes for favors. Like, hey, comrade, you owe me. Hey, comrade, you owe me. Now we're comrade, you owe me. And because they're obligated, or maybe he even knows things about them. Like, hey, comrade, if you, I'm also telling on you, we cannot afford those things. We cannot afford those things. But if he is fired, I know he can use a burner phone to do nefarious things, but at least he'll be out of the investigation's way. Out. So now these loopholes that they are utilizing, I'm sorry, I do not support that 100%. Anyways, those are my thoughts regarding what we could be hearing tonight. And speaking of tonight, yes, I am going to go live tonight. I will go live from 6:30 so that we watch the lies together and then I will react after that. So yeah, now and again, you are going to hear me say something, but I'm not going to disturb you guys. I'm not going to talk too much, but I want us to watch it together. You watch on your screen, and but I will have my device on, and we'll be hearing together, and we'll be reacting together. All right, and then after that, we'll have a discussion about everything that we heard and some of the things that we predicted he's going to say, and most of it, it's going to defend his comrades by utilizing loopholes that exist. Other than that, guys, I'll see you a little bit later, depending how the day goes. But 6:30, tune in, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.